Outlet Liquor is your place to buy a case. Stock up and save when you shop the lowest prices available every day at Outlet Liquor. You never have to wait for a sale. The more you buy, the more you save. Only at Outlet Liquor.
What's your outlet?
Folks, what is going on? Welcome into the Trainwreck Hockey Playoff Pregame. I'm Ty B. We got Donnie here joining me. Might have some of the other guys here popping in, but we're going to break down the 3 games tonight. But first, we're going to talk about some of the results from yesterday. Some very exciting games. You had the Islanders scoring scoring late to get it to OT, and then scoring in overtime to get the win 4-3. Minnesota 1-0 over Vegas. It was like a 42 save shutout there in that one. Yeah. And Tampa Bay, Braden Point, a late goal in that one to get the 5-4 victory over Florida. Donnie, yesterday's games were absolutely electric, and hopefully we're going to see more of that throughout this entire postseason.
I mean, they were like you said, electric. I thought that last game was going to overtime for sure too with that late goal. Didn't happen. And hey, the game everyone wanted to make fun of for the NHL, Calgary and Vancouver after the 3 playoff games, actually ends up being a crazy game. Down 5-1, Vancouver came back, tied it up, scored 4 goals in the third. Doesn't matter, but hey, for hockey, guys like me that by late night, I just needed more. I needed more hockey, even if it wasn't the playoffs. Yeah, I need it. So I was tweeting about how stupid the NHL was and how dumb that game was, and then the third period, exciting stuff. But yeah, I think tonight we got even more excitement in store. We got Bruins Capitals kicking it off. They went to OT for the first one. That was a thriller as well. And I think that's going to be another. I think that's going to be a bit lower scoring than last time. What was that, a 4-3 or 3-2? Off the top of my head,
4-3.
Yeah, he let in a few there that I think
3-2 because they only won. Yeah, so 3-2.
Yeah. So, the first goal of the game, off my memory, it was that Wilson shot from the side. Rask was caught a little back in the net on that. I think he's going to come out and play a strong one. But, hey, we are also at home at the Capitals, and a team that's physical, plays with energy like they do when they're in their home ice and they got a crowd roaring behind them. I think they're going to be tough to keep a lid on for the Bruins.
Yeah, the big thing in that game, the big storyline, if you will, from game 1 into game 2 is the fact that Craig Anderson did have to come in for Vitek Vanacek and will have to play again here in this one. So it's going to be very interesting. There were a lot of good chances on some juicy rebounds that Boston was just unable to finish on. And I think, they're probably going to be able to finish and convert on a few of those chances again. So if you're Washington, I think your key to success might be having to play a little bit more wide open and really outscore Boston in this one. I know you want to, try to protect and shield a guy like Craig Anderson so he doesn't face too much, but if he's going to be giving up those rebounds and they're going to be putting him back, like you can't give those opportunities to Pasternak over and over again and not expect to be put in a precarious situation by giving up a bunch of goals in that. And we'll see on this one. You got Boston as a slight favorite here in this one, and nothing too juicy, around 140 or so. But the other 2 games we have here tonight, we have 2 big favorites. You have Carolina sitting around -180, and you have the Avalanche sitting around -330 or so, depending on where you're looking. And it's rightly so. They both won their divisions, and they both pretty much dominated the 2 teams they're playing against, and were dominant at home this year, Donnie.
Absolutely dominant. An interesting stat, though, for Predators Hurricanes, if you guys are watching that game at 8 p.m. tonight, Carolina took, I believe, the first 6 games of that series, and then Nashville beat them twice in the last 2 games of the season. I think they outscored them 6-1, 8-1, actually.
They did sit a bunch of guys, but yeah.
Yes, the last game. And Predators were playing to get in. They needed those to get in and even have this. But I think they're coming in with some confidence. They got some swagger. Renee. He got 1 goal in the last 2 games, a shutout in the last game. Like you said, sat people. So are those numbers that telling? I'm not sure, but I think the Predators, I think they have some fight in them. I'm going to be interested. I'm picking Carolina. That's who I'm going with. But I think in terms of excitement, this is going to be one of the more exciting games tonight. I'm looking for Renee to play some great goaltending. And Carolina, they're a team that just peppers shots, So he's definitely going to get a workout.
Oh, absolutely. Carolina's a team that loves to dominate the Corsi and, at home, 23-5 this year, amazing numbers. And I think we're going to see more of that here tonight. Jake, what's your read on that with the Hurricanes? We've seen them, last season, even they had a great regular season, kind of faltered real early there in the playoffs. You think they got it going on this year?
Yeah, I really like Carolina in this year's bracket, honestly. I think they match up. We saw the pace of that game last night with Florida and Tampa, and Carolina, if they move on and face one of those teams, they can match that pace really well. Another thing I like, especially for this series in general, Carolina's special teams is like outstanding. Both sides, they're great penalty kill, great power play. I don't know if you guys touched on that or not. And compared to Nashville, who is just dreadful in both those categories too. So that's why I really like Carolina, just because they can take advantage of those opportunities too.
Yeah, and you're getting Peter Mrazek fully healthy and back. And he had an actually like a career year, 206 goals against average, 923 save percentage. So, you're getting Mrazek playing his best hockey at the right time. That's exactly what you want for Carolina. Their one problem the past few seasons has been, can you get some good, solid goaltending behind the nice play in front of you? And it seems like they might be getting that this year. But let's hop into the nightcap here. You got the Avalanche versus the Blues, and another team that dominates at home, the Avalanche. And the Avalanche have had some very, very good games against the Blues at home this season, and it just seems like we're going to get more of that. How confident are you in the Avalanche here tonight, Jake, for Al and Maniac's sakes on their futures?
I think tonight they're going to be pretty safe. I feel like it's going to be good for them against the Blues. I mean, listen, you said it exactly what I was going to say. They've ripped up the Blues this year. I mean, they've ripped up a lot of teams in the league, and I was a little worried for Colorado for the reason of the game yesterday with Minnesota. If they were to end up in that 2 seed matched up against Minnesota, that was what was really worrying me about their futures, because I really like that Minnesota team. But luckily they escaped by, and they get a really favorable matchup against the Blues. The Blues just don't have the firepower to keep up on a game-to-game basis. They just don't.
No, absolutely not. Donnie, what's your read on this one? I think it looks like, the Avalanche should be able to go up and down and get all around on this Blues team with a fully healthy roster back intact.
Yeah, I agree with Jake. I know I'm rocking the Blues jersey, but this is my playoff sweater because it's the Gretzky version, who only played about 18 games in the playoffs. I don't think Avalanche fans or Maniac or Al have anything to worry about. I will say, interesting stat though. When's the last time these two teams saw each other in the playoffs? 2001 Western Conference Finals. What happened in 2001? Avalanche won the cup. It's their last time they won the cup 20 years ago. I will say, if I'm a Blues fan, if I'm riding the Blues, they're going to need to play D. Bennington's going to have to play out of his mind. I would look for them to do play a similar game Minnesota did yesterday, where they clog up a lot of shooting lanes, block a lot of shots. I don't think they don't have the speed that Minnesota has, but they are physical. They've won all year long by being a more defensive-oriented team and just locking you down and taking advantage of turnovers. That's what they're going to have to do. I don't see them getting it done, though. I'll even call the series right now. I think this is going to 5 games at the most, and Colorado walks away with it.
No, I think I'm right there with you on that one, Don. I just don't see how the Blues are going to be able to keep up with the Avalanche when the Avalanche have one of the best team defenses in the entire NHL, just giving up just over 2.3 goals per game on the season. Very, very good numbers. And you think about that offensive firepower with guys like Landeskog and McKinnon, and they've added a lot to the depth as well. Putting some guys on the side of Nazem Kadri as well, who can and put the puck in the back of the net, and they get up and down the ice. It's going to be an absolute terror to that St. Louis Blues defense. And I mean, there's not much else to say, boys, but we got some great playoff hockey to watch tonight, and we're going to be back throughout the week. I think the plan is going to be DDZ 6 to 620, 620 to 640. Either us doing the hockey playoff pregame or Jake and the boys doing the happy hour hoops pregame as well, looking at the NBA. So we're going to have a jam-packed 6 to 7 o'clock hour for you guys throughout the playoffs, and then on the weekends, we'll figure it out. We'll plan that. So make sure you guys stay tuned for more. Follow us over at Trainwreck Spurts. Follow at Crosswords Pod, at Two Goalies, One Mic for more throughout the playoffs. I know Donnie's going to be live tweeting the Caps game over there. Shout out to Don and Jake for joining me here on the Trainwreck Hockey Playoff pregame. Let's watch some hockey, boys.